welcome or welcome back to another video. I'm Stacy. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. And if you're not new and you're returning, thank you so much for stopping by again. I really do appreciate you. So guys, for this video today, we will be discussing 7 things that you can do to mentally glow up for spring and summer, or just in general. So if you're interested in seeing these tips, please keep watching. Guys, let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but the past 2-3 years, glowing up has been a topic that has had a lot of discussion. I guess as ladies, as women, because we're the ones who are mostly having this discussion, we're realizing our power. We're realizing what's within us, and we're looking to do better with our life. However, what I've been noticing is that when we're talking about glowing up, I've seen a number of videos that mainly focus on the physical glow up. And while that is one of my most favorite, because I do believe that looking good is feeling good, and when you look good, you can do your best and put your best foot forward. But I think we can all agree that if we physically glow up without mentally glowing up, we're not gonna get much farther in life. We're not gonna move, we're not gonna grow, and we're not gonna achieve the outcome that we're looking to achieve. So which led me to having this discussion today of mentally glowing up. So the very first point I want to raise when it comes to glowing up mentally is to know who and whose you are. Now, I am a Christian, so all of my points and advice and tips are gonna base around the Christian faith and what I believe in. Now, I say know who you are, because when you know who you are, you're not easily swayed in every different direction. With a lot of us being influenced a lot by social media these days, anything can sway us if we're being completely honest. But when you know who you are and you know whose you are, which is God, you're God's child, you're gonna believe what God say about you. You're gonna walk in that truth of who you are. Know yourself inside out. Don't let another person know you more than you know you. One of the benefits of knowing who you are is that you can stand on what you believe in as well. You can stand for what you represent, what your morals are, what your values are. And as I said, you're not going to be easily swayed. And if you ever stray away from knowing who you are, knowing whose you are is going to lead you back to that, because then you're going to go back, you're going to read your Bible, you're going to pray, you're going to talk to God, and the Holy Spirit is going to remind you of who you are. So this is the very first tip, is to know who you are and also to know whose you are, because until you know that, the enemy can come with any and anything and sway you in a direction that you're not supposed to be. So tip number 1, again, know who you are and know whose you are. Okay guys, so tip number 2 would be to know exactly what you want out of life. And I know sometimes this is a little bit difficult to establish earlier on in your life. So for example, in your teenage years, sometimes even in your 20s, a lot of us don't really know what we want to do. But it's important to sit down and really examine yourself and ask yourself some tough questions. Ask yourself some questions like, what are your skills? Do you want to be a business owner? Do you want to have a career? Do you want to have a 9-to-5? Do you want to get married? Do you not want to get married? Do you want to have kids? Ask yourself all these questions. Ask yourself, where do I see myself in the next 5-10 years? Because I can tell you honestly, these days time is going by so fast, and before you know it, 5 years is gone and 10 years is gone, and then you look back and realize, oh my God, what have I achieved? What have I done? So to prevent this is good, and it's advisable to know exactly what you want out of life. And sometimes your plans can change, because life push you in so many different situations. People come in your life, people can influence you, people can enlighten you, and all of these different things, and that's completely fine. I mean, that comes with life, it comes with living. But knowing what you want is gonna cut down a lot of the the errors and the time wasting in life. I'm telling you, sometimes when you're in your teens, you feel like, oh my gosh, I have forever. But I'm speaking from experience. Just the other day I was 16, and now I am in my 30s, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, where have my time gone? What did I do? I mean, I achieved a good amount of stuff, but I just advice for the younger ones out there, or even if you're at my age, if you're in your 30s, it's good to sit down and figure out what you want for your life, because it's just gonna give you a line of sight. It's gonna give you something to focus on. What is your goals? What's your dreams? What's your desires? It's important to know these things so that you can make informed decisions. Tip number 3, guys, is to know and believe that you can achieve everything that you set out to achieve in life. The Bible says, to him that believe, all things are possible. A lot of times we have goals, dreams, and aspiration, and the only thing that's preventing us from achieving those things is a lack of belief. We don't think that we can actually have what we want, because a lot of us have such big dreams, such big goals, and we're just looking at it as mission impossible. But the Bible said, again, to him who believe, all things are possible. If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to that mountain, be thrown into the sea. And this is very, very important, and it is very, very true. If you really examine your life and think back of a time when you wanted something and you wanted it so bad, you found a way to get it done. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. If you have a goal and you take one step every day towards that goal, eventually you are gonna achieve it. And I am speaking from experience myself. Lately, I have been more zoom in and focusing and paying attention to, my goals and dreams, and actually seeing that every day as I take one step closer to that, it leads to me achieving that goal. So I'm speaking from experience now that if you program your mind to start believing that you can achieve anything that you set out to, I promise you, you're gonna be way more successful. You're gonna achieve a lot of your goals. So definitely start thinking that you can and you will achieve whatever you set out to achieve. Nothing is impossible for you. It all depends on your mindset and what you believe in. Tip number 4 is to believe that you are good enough no matter what happens in life. And I really love this one here, because a lot of times we tend to put a lot of weight on what people say about us, and we don't believe so much about who God say that we are and who we know that we are. A lot of times we face rejection and we feel like we're not good enough. If we set out to do something and we don't do it good, we feel like we're not good enough. If we're not the first preference to get chosen for things, we feel like we're not good enough. But the way that I approach this one here is to know that, hey, if I don't achieve something, it's because God has something better for me. If somebody reject me, it's because God has somebody better for me. So the sooner you come to terms with knowing that, hey, these things are gonna happen in life, but that doesn't take away from who I am, the sooner you learn to accept this, it's the sooner you're gonna walk in the path that God has set out for you, and you're not gonna let these things break your spirit. I'm sure, like, we don't want to be rejected, and we like to know that we're the best, but I just want to let you know that rejection or not achieving something does not mean that you're not good enough. It simply means that God have a better route for you and a better option for you. Tip number 5, guys, is to always be open to continuous learning. It is not a secret that the world is changing. And if you're not open to learning, whether it be new skills, new experiences, meeting new people, or just venturing out in unfamiliar grounds or territories, you're gonna be left behind. So definitely be open to continuous learning, reading more, going to places that you've never been before, like just trying out a bunch of different things, because you're gonna realize that there are certain things out there that you haven't discovered but is yet to discover that you actually really like. And a lot of times these things can push you into your purpose. So definitely be open to continuous learning. Tip number 6 is to be dedicated to self-care. Never leave out yourself. And I absolutely love this one, because think about it. If you don't take care of yourself, who will take care of you? And of course, if you take care of yourself, you can perform better. You're gonna feel better. You're gonna look better. You're gonna perform better. It's just a bunch of betterment. So definitely be dedicated to take care of yourself, and this includes self-love. If you are, if you like to get massages regularly, if you like to take your therapy classes, if you like to work out, if shopping is one of your way to do self-care, retail therapy, whatever it is, even if it's going to sleep early, whatever your self-care look like, be dedicated to that. Because again, if you take care of yourself, you're just gonna operate better. This is basically, I will give an example of a car. You take your car for regular oil change, it is necessary, because why? Your car is not gonna break down fast. okay? And it's gonna perform at its best when you do your regular oil change or your maintenance. I know it's like a bad example, but that was the first thing that came to my mind. But yes, definitely prioritize taking care of yourself. If you don't do this, this is so important. It is so important, especially with the life that we're living in, the world that we're living in these days. So many things bombarding us left, right, and center. Self-care should definitely be something that is prioritized in your life. So tip number 7 is to be mindful of your thoughts. Every single day we have different thoughts, different reasoning in our mind. We see a lot of things, especially on social media. We look at a lot of scenarios, we talk to people, and this can cause us to think a lot. And a lot of those thoughts is more negative than positive usually. What I would say is, when you catch yourself thinking negative things, be quick to switch it to positive things, because the way that you think is going to influence your outcome and your reality. Believe it or not, pay attention. If you are thinking about something negative, more than likely something negative is gonna happen. And I've been even noticing it for my own self. So what I have been doing lately is, when I catch myself thinking about something negative, or I feel like I'm moving in that direction, I quickly switch out of it and combat that with something positive. And you're definitely gonna see huge change in your life. And this goes for everything, whether it's business, whether it's personal, whether it's work, whatever it is. Practice to think positive, because your mind controls a lot of what goes on in our physical reality. Okay, so practice thinking positive thoughts. Guys, I have a bonus tip for us, and that is to become comfortable with being uncomfortable. And this has a lot to do with your growth. Everybody knows that comfort means little to no growth. So definitely become comfortable with being uncomfortable, because this is the only way in which we're gonna grow and excel and achieve our goals and, our success, and live a life of abundance. Definitely be a little bit comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that brings us to the end of the video, guys. Give this video a nice big thumbs up if any of these tips resonate with you in any way, shape, or form. Let me know in the comment section. Give this video a nice big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.